Hi everybody, welcome to Andrew McDonald English. This is lesson 4, and today the video is going to look a little bit different from our normal, more grammar-focused videos because today we're going to do a topic that's much more applicable to daily life, and it will be how to fill out a common form in English. So, this sheet, which is, as always, linked down below in the description, blank and filled out, is a common English form. You'll likely have to fill these out for the majority of things you apply for, whether that would be applications for a school, a job, government assistance, housing, anything like that. You'll likely have to fill out some sort of form with either all or the majority of this information. So let's just go through the first, just dive into it, shall we? This first bit is your prefix. And what the prefix is it's the precursor to your name. So there are Mr., Mrs., Ms., or Miss. So if you identify as male, you will likely pick Mr., which is this one. The vast majority of people who identify as male pick Mr. as their prefix. These are usually for those who identify as female. So the vast majority of men are Mr. and women will often be Mrs., Miss, or Ms. And the differences between this, nowadays you can really choose which of the three you prefer. However, Mrs. implies that you are married. Mrs. implies that you are married, whereas Ms. or Miss may not. However, nowadays, these three in English are much more fluid, and so one can kind of choose whichever feels the best for them. So, if I were filling this out for a man, for example, I would put Mr. Okay, so then it asks for probably the most important bits here, first name and surname or last name. So your first name, of course, is just your name. So a first name could be John, and then your last name, maybe it's Ryan. So we'll be filling out this form for someone named John, Mr. John Ryan. So Mr. John Ryan would have his first parts like this. His prefix is Mr. as he identifies as male. His first name is John, and his last name is Ryan. Let's continue. Okay, address. So address, they give you a few lines to fill out. Now, address, you need a few things. You need to put a number, then you need to put a street, then you need to put the city or town, then you need to put the state if you live in the US, and then you should also put United States of America, just to be safe. So let's start here. The number will be 123 Main Street, Main Street. So we've got the number, we've got the street. Now we need the city and the town, or the town. So we'll do New Rochelle, New York. The state can just be like this, the abbreviation. So you can write New York, but NY is okay. And then put USA. So make sure for the address you always have the number, the street, the city or the town, and the state. Okay, the next part they'll ask you about is zip code. Zip code will be 5 numbers that will be how things will arrive to your house by mail. So personally, I'm not too sure about the zip code for New Rochelle, but a zip code could be 02045, for example. 02045 is an example, and that should go down here, is an example of a zip code that one may have for their home. Zip code is also very important to have as part of your address. So far, we've got Mr. John Ryan, 123 Main Street, New Rochelle, New York, USA, at a zip code of 02045. Okay, continuing with these next three questions, these will ask you about contact information. So, your telephone number will usually be the phone number that goes to your house. Now, many times you don't have a telephone at your house anymore, but it's still good to put down a number for both. Now, let's actually look first at mobile number. So your mobile number is your cell phone that you have with you. So your mobile number, almost everyone has one. If you're calling from the United States, you have an American number, you start with the prefix 1. Then you continue. Let's say we're talking to someone from New York City, they'd have 212, and then you have 3 more numbers, and then 4 more. So mobile number is the most important phone number. That will be your actual cell phone that you use to make calls. Now, up here, telephone number, like I said before, telephone number often means the number for your house. However, if you don't have a house phone number, I'd recommend just putting the mobile number again. So do the same thing here. 212 555 5555. Right? If you do have a house phone that for your house, that sounds great. Put that here. But a lot of people may not. So you can just put your mobile number in both so that they'll call no matter what. Now, the next thing they'll always ask you for is an email address. And an email address is super important as well because if they can't call you, that's how they'll reach you. So John Ryan, maybe John Ryan 123 at gmail.com, for example. That could be John Ryan's email, and that is what he would put in email address. Okay, moving below, it then asks for some questions about you. So, age. John Ryan is gonna be, we'll say he is 25 years old. John Ryan is 25 years old, and his date of birth is January 1st, 2000. So, in the United States, this is the order we do. Month, day, year. And that's for the USA. Now, the rest of the world usually will flip and do day, month, year, but in the USA, you always start with the month. So this, month number 1, is January. And this is the 1st of 2000. So January 1st, 2000. Nationality is the country of which you are from, of where you are a citizen. So, nationality, John Ryan is American. However, if you were from perhaps Mexico, you would put Mexican. If you get your American citizenship, then you could also put American. But keep in mind that nationality is where you currently are as a human legally. It is different from ethnicity, which is where you are culturally. So, for example, I'm an American nationality, but Brazilian ethnically. Okay, so then you continue into occupation. And occupation is just your job. So, where does John Ryan work? John Ryan is a construction worker. So that would be your job. The last two questions they'll ask you are about your family. So the first one is marital status. Are you married? Do you have a husband or a wife? And for John Ryan, let's say he has a wife. So John Ryan would put married. Let's say John Ryan, either with his current marriage or before, has a certain number of children. Let's say he has 2 children. He would mark that here. Number of children, he would put 2. Okay. Look through one more time, just review. It'll ask you for your name, your address, and your points of contact down here. Often, these will always be included in almost every form that you fill out. Often, too, they'll ask you for these things here. More demographic questions about your birth, your nationality, your job, and your family status. So, I hope this video was beneficial. Thank you so much for watching Andrew McDonald English. I know this video was a bit different than before, but please, if you think these videos are helpful, especially these ones concerning practical day-to-day things, such as filling out forms, please subscribe and make sure to leave a comment if you'd like more kind of these videos. As always, this sheet, written out and blank, will be under in the description below, so please check that out. And as always, thank you so much for watching.